Finally, I made it to level 100. That was a great battle pass. Said no one ever! The Battle Pass. If you've played any competitive game in the last 5 years or so, you've probably seen this before. That tantalizing array of rewards that promise hours of gameplay challenges and content for you to enjoy. But at what cost? It's more than just $10. What if I told you that Battle Passes are actually a symptom of something far greater that is changing the entire landscape of video games as we know them? Well, today we're going to do a deep dive on the Battle Pass. We're looking at its origins, the Battle Pass's evolving design, and what it's doing to us as players psychologically. My name's Max Neal, and this is Voxel. The history of the Battle Pass begins in 2013 with Dota 2, and it all started with really positive intentions. In the lead up to the third annual Dota 2 International, that's Dota's annual pro tournament, Valve introduced the Interactive Compendium, an optional paid ticket that players could buy that would, in part, be used to fund the prize pool for the tournament. Players could purchase their compendium for $10, and it would unlock a bunch of different features in the game as the community collectively reached various funding goals. 25% of compendium sales over the next 3 months would go towards the prize pool for the International held later that year. And actually, that's really cool. I love to see community-focused events in games, and while, sure, Valve was making a profit from the compendium, the idea to use it to fund the game's biggest pro tournament was groundbreaking in more ways than one. Sales of the compendium pushed the 2013 International's prize pool from $1.6 million up to $2.8 million. That's nearly as much as the pool from the 2 prior years combined. But it was in 2014 that the idea of the Battle Pass as we know it today was created, and it ended up more successful than perhaps anyone ever could have imagined. Valve had obviously hit on something big with the creation of the compendium, but the rewards that players could earn were largely in the hands of other players. In 2013, the Dota 2 community actually came short of the compendium's final community reward, and that doesn't really feel good. So in 2014, Valve brought the compendium back, this time with a new twist. Owners of the 2014 compendium received rewards as community goals were reached, just like the years prior, but players could also level up their compendium by watching and predicting the outcome of matches during the International, and by completing various challenges inside of Dota 2. Sales of the 2014 compendium reached over $10 million. This was not only a major turning point for the legitimacy of professional esports leagues, but also perhaps the biggest impetus for the future of corporate investment in video games. On the monetary side, the price of video games has stayed largely the same over the last 17 years. It's only really changed recently, while the cost and complexity of developing games has nearly quintupled. To make up the gap, some studios have turned to aggressive microtransactions and battle passes as a core revenue model for some games. And if I can be blunt, it's gone too far. We are witnessing the profitization of the video game industry in real time, where the ultimate goal of investors is to monetize the most enjoyable events in gaming, like getting sweet loot, to take that experience out of the game itself, and to make you choose between playing any of the other exciting games that are coming out this year, or to grind one game for hundreds of hours just to get your money's worth. Since 2014, we have seen hundreds of versions of the Battle Pass. It's a concept that has weaseled its way into nearly every high-budget competitive game released today. And it's made way for a whole new subgenre of video games, the live service game. And that, in itself, would be fine if the spirit of the Battle Pass hadn't been entirely corrupted by corporate greed, like some kind of Battle Pass anti-form.
But Sora, I thought you liked games.
Bruh.
The Battle Pass as a concept is actually quite excellent for multiplayer games. One of the most important struggles for a competitive game is to foster a healthy player base, and Battle Passes can provide an incentive for players to log in and play every once in a while. But rarely is playing 1 or 2 matches a day actually enough to complete a 100-level Battle Pass season. Instead, Battle Passes seem designed to monopolize your time and keep you from playing literally any other game. It is the capitalist's dream, if you think about it, to create a product that is so addictive that its users won't think to try anything else. But maybe not addictive enough that it gets banned from TV and billboards or across entire countries in Europe.
Sure is a swell new box.
I'm gonna say up front that I think game companies deserve to make money. Making video games is a business just as much as it is a passion for hundreds of thousands of programmers and artists and really talented people. This incredible hobby only exists because studios are able to pay their employees. And while salaries in the video game industry aren't always something to write home about, they can earn someone a living wage to do what they love to do. Just like you can help us earn a living wage by subscribing to the channel and checking out our Patreon over at patreon.com/VoxelShow. If you're part of the generation watching that grew up with always online games and microtransaction locked cosmetics, then you might not understand why the advent of Battle Passes drove me to write a 6,000-word essay about the topic. It's because it didn't always used to be this way. I'm someone who loves to live in the fantasy of video game worlds, and to me, that means cool-ass loot, sweet weapons, and massive f***ing shoulder pads. I want to go delving into caves and fight some big-ass crab and use his claw to crush my enemies. I want to show up to Durotar in my skimpy little Orkini and come back 60 levels later looking like I belong in the Gargoyles TV show. And I want it to make sense. I want to earn the gear that I wear in the game, because earning it tells a story. The biggest issue I have with Battle Pass systems is that they take player rewards out of the game and they put them on a meta layer of gameplay. That you earn the best rewards only by playing the game for longer periods of time. How long we play a game doesn't necessarily correlate to how fun the game is. But Battle Passes take the implicit stance that you only deserve rewards if you play and pay for longer. It's irrelevant how fun that experience is or how much it challenges you, and this leads to downright lazy game design. As investors dig their hands deeper and deeper into the games industry, the question is starting to arise in publishing and developer teams. Why create games that leave a lasting impact on players when it would be more profitable to create games that abuse our human psychology and keep us playing the game for hours more for a carrot that is dangled further and further out of our reach? But when I look back at the games I used to play, they're so different. I look like a sci-fi samurai in Halo because my friends and I fought tooth and claw through legendary difficulty for 13 hidden skulls. The angel and devil chow in my chow garden, I raised them through the blood, sweat, and tears of hours of gameplay. I had to send my WoW raid group to dance lessons, and I earned that armor because I made Sire Denathrius my bitch. Not because I hit some arbitrary level of my Season 14 Premium Battle Pass. You are playing a game, and in the game, you're a Spartan, not a consumer. Your seasonal battle pass shouldn't make you feel like Jack Bauer on an episode of 24 trying to eke out level 100 at the last minute. You should be hanging out and having fun. You shouldn't be yoinking 100 boinks for 300 XP. You should be doing it for the Boink Yoinker 5000. Am I making any sense here?
Looks like someone's trying to corrupt the internet.
Yeah.
Battle passes are starting to turn playing games for the fun of exploration and competition and achievement into playing the game for value. How many times have you played one more match of Fortnite? Not because you wanted to push and improve your skills, but because you're so close to that next level of your battle pass. That motivation is driven by our perceived value of the reward at the end of the tunnel, a reward that you have paid for the chance to earn. If you were never to play another match of Fortnite again, that reward would be out of your reach forever. So despite the fact that you haven't finished your bio paper that's due tomorrow, you better sneak in one more match. It's worth it, right? This is the fundamental difference between player-focused design and investor-focused design. And we see increasing examples of it illustrated every single day. These days, the coolest armor in almost any live service game is inevitably locked behind the Battle Pass or the cash shop. And it's because publishers know that that's what you want. You want the feeling of prestige. You want the feeling to show off what you've accomplished. Or maybe the skin just elevates your experience of playing the game. But if you've ever purchased a skin from a cash shop and then been berated by your friends about it, you know that just owning a paid skin doesn't necessarily make you feel good. I think it's because games today now taunt and tease you with their best ideas saved only for those who didn't go out and take on the hardest dungeon, but instead reached for their wallet. And because most battle passes don't include any particularly interesting challenges, and they often boil down to simply how many hours you've managed to accrue during a season, they tell much less interesting of a story than if you were to earn that gear in the game. And at their worst, they act as a paid trickle-feed dopamine injector that abuse your time and your money. Okay, enough being mean. There are actually a few battle passes that are well-designed and player-friendly, so it's worth talking a little bit about how battle passes could be improved. Despite all that before, I personally believe that battle passes are fine in a free-to-play game. Developers and publishers need to earn a living, and microtransactions can be a source of that. It's not how I would like to support developers, but I understand that the model is more effective than a paid monthly subscription. And let's talk about that, because the difference between a subscription cost and a battle pass is actually really fascinating. A monthly subscription is almost like a fee to get access to the game. It's like paying to be part of an exclusive club. No pay, no play. And admittedly, that doesn't exactly feel good. While the brilliance of the Battle Pass model is that it feels like you're being rewarded for playing a game that you would have been playing anyway. But you're not being rewarded in a Battle Pass. You have paid money for the chance that you might play enough to actually earn the cosmetics you're after. Instead, you're actually competing with Battle Passes and their designers. You're paying to challenge yourself that you can possibly play a game for another 100 hours. Now, there is an argument that 10-year epics like Destiny wouldn't exist without Battle Pass monetization, and games like these are my one hang-up on the topic. But there is a major difference between the Destinies of gaming, that is, live service games that depict an evolving story and an intricate world, and games that replace in-game cosmetics with the use of Battle Passes almost entirely. Let's take Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, for example. The game is $70 and it has a $10 Battle Pass that runs every 3 months. Buying access to the Battle Pass allows you to earn XP from matches and challenges, and then unlock rewards from the battle map. The battle map is actually quite innovative as far as Battle Passes go. It allows you to unlock rewards in a semi-controlled path instead of unlocking them linearly like you see in a lot of Battle Pass systems. Still, like every Battle Pass in existence, the best rewards are locked for only the players who complete all 100 levels that season. If you're wondering, a single Battle Pass season takes multiple tens of hours, probably 100 hours to complete, and what you don't unlock during the season is gone forever. It also means if you join the game late into a season, you have an even bigger time crunch to complete the Battle Pass before it and your $10 disappear. In fact, finishing a season has now become so difficult in Modern Warfare that players can pay to unlock individual rewards. Just in case you thought this was about rewarding players and not, making more money off of you. You might see those rewards in the cash shop in the future, but it's likely that they're going to be bundled together for an even greater cost than the $10 you spent on the season pass itself. This Battle Pass system, minus the battle map, is the most common, and in my opinion, the least player-friendly. From the entry cost to participate on top of the cost of the game itself, to the time crunch to complete the Battle Pass before it disappears forever, to a lack of free catch-up mechanics for players who join late in the season, and a design that basically forces you to dedicate most of your free time to playing only one game. It is the epitome of the worst elements of Battle Pass design. There is no good reason to restrict the Battle Pass to a period of 3 months except to keep players playing during that specific time frame. This is FOMO incarnate, and it is designed to prey on your desire to get the most out of your $10. Frankly, most of the Battle Pass rewards are light reskins of weapons or characters or vehicles, with the occasional new character's skin, so you're not really getting anything terribly special from participating. And the absolute best rewards, like a complete character reskin, are located in the cash shop for 2 to 3 times the cost of the Battle Pass itself. But Max, I hear you say, it's only cosmetic items. Why are you complaining? Well, first off, everyone knows it feels 17.4% more euphoric to 360 no-scope some fuckboy with a bright pink Victus than it does with the default skin. But secondly, I'm disappointed because it doesn't have to be this way. There are tons of alternative systems that benefit and respect both players and the game's creators. Take Halo Infinite, for example. And I think it's a fair comparison because Xbox Game Studios and Activision Blizzard are similarly endowed. Infinite's multiplayer mode is free to play, no $70 barrier to entry, but it features an optional $10 paid Battle Pass without any arbitrary seasonal restrictions for unlocking rewards. Players can purchase and switch between any Battle Pass they own, and they can make progress towards the rewards in that season whenever they want, even months after the Battle Pass season has ended. Infinite's Battle Pass isn't without its flaws, but this is a system that respects your time, and it doesn't pigeonhole you into playing the game exclusively for 3 months if you want the best rewards. Another great example is Deep Rock Galactic, which features an entirely different model. The game itself costs $30, but its Performance Pass is free for everyone. The Performance Pass runs for several months, and during, all players are able to earn rewards along a linear track. This tends to bring back both expert players and new players into the fold on a seasonal basis. And more players playing the game means matchmaking feels better. Once the Performance Pass season ends, the rewards can't be obtained by playing the game anymore, but they may, in the future, eventually be added to the cash shop. This means that the Performance Pass items maintain their rarity and their uniqueness for many months, perhaps even many years, and that feels great for gamers. And sometime down the line, you might be able to purchase them flat out for real-world money if you missed out on earning them, which is great for both gamers and the game's developers. You can see that there are multiple different systems for Battle Passes, and I think that's really great. But I take issue with this idea that Battle Passes are there to reward the player. If the point of Battle Passes was to reward players for playing the game, they would be free. The point of Battle Passes was simply to boost a game's active player base in a multiplayer game, they would be free. And if Battle Passes were designed in a player-friendly way, the way that Deep Rock Galactic's Performance Pass is designed, I would have no problem with them. But the fact is that time-gated Battle Passes and quarterly seasons and other FOMO-inducing elements that have seeped their way into games are largely designed to increase profits by exploiting your psychology and also to bend video game norms. Are we playing games for the tiny dopamine hits that we feel when we unlock loot, or is the loot supposed to be part of the game? I would argue it's the latter. Publishers want you to feel like purchasing a Battle Pass is your way of helping support a game's development. And in some small case, that is true. Freemium games especially rely on the sale of vanity items and Battle Passes to stay afloat. But there's no reason that great games need to be this way. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 made $1 billion in the first 10 days after release. That is enough money to pay every employee at Infinity Ward $750,000 a year for the 3 years it took to develop the game. They're not making that much, but I think if paying your employees hinges on the use of exploitative and exclusionary systems like Battle Passes, then maybe you should stop renting out entire cargo docks for your latest marketing video and make a better game. Let's find ways to support developers. Yeah, that means buying $70 games that don't use a Battle Pass system. And it means reducing our use of torrents and emulators. Let's buy the occasional skin from the cash shop. Go for it, Queen, you're looking good. And let's continue to speak up against monetization systems that do not respect your time. You deserve to be able to earn that badass gear by playing the game and completing challenges. Don't settle for anything less than that. If we do, I fear we're going to see the continued corruption of the video game industry, where the goal of game development is less to create the incredible world and stories that you and I have spent countless hours in, and instead it becomes about lining the pockets of corporate investors. We deserve better. Oh, that was a spicy topic. This has been a video that has been on my mind for a long time now. I just had to get this one out. It wasn't even all of the thoughts and ideas that I have around battle passes, but I would love to hear from you. What do you think about them? Do you think that they're okay? Do you have a problem with them? Whatever it is, wherever you sit, hit us up in the comments down below. We read and respond to almost every single comment that gets left. And if we don't respond to you on YouTube, we're probably talking about it over on Patreon, where we have exclusive videos just for Patreon supporters, where we expand the conversation around each of the topics that we delve into here on the channel. Otherwise, if you liked the video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a big old thumbs down, and I will catch you in our next one, either here or over on Patreon. See you later, gamers.